Good afternoon. This is Eric Wilson from Eric Wilson Weather Source. It is 5:23 on July 22nd, and we're covering Gonzalo, right now a tropical storm, soon to be a hurricane. Why do we think that? Well, let's get to it. Right now, the current location of Gonzalo is in this area here. It is 10 degrees north and about 44 degrees to the west, and moving at 5 p.m. at about 10 miles an hour towards the west, directly towards the west on July 22nd, like I said. The reason for the update is because of its strength. This morning, it's at 5 a.m. when I was checking the data. We had it as a tropical storm throughout, but some interesting things have taken place, such as its intensity guide. Look what happens, and we'll stay on this page. In fact, I'll make this as big as I possibly can. Gonzalo becomes a hurricane at 7 a.m. or sometime between 5 p.m. tonight and 7 a.m. tomorrow at a Category 1, right? It goes directly west. This is where it is at 5 p.m. Still a tropical storm projected tonight, overnight, when we wake up. Gonzalo becomes a hurricane. Not a major hurricane, but a hurricane nonetheless. That means wind speeds of over 75 miles an hour, and we do expect it to grow in its breadth, meaning its width and its height. Right now, Gonzalo has an incredible amount of power within it, but it's small, relatively speaking. So will Gonzalo continue to be a hurricane? Well, it looks like, with the latest projections, that Gonzalo will still continue to be a hurricane through at least Friday 7 p.m. What happens after Friday is not what we do here. We don't do anything past 48 hours. So it's 5 p.m. at the time of this recording on Wednesday. I'm covering Thursday, letting you know that Gonzalo will be a hurricane, and it will maintain hurricane strength. So let's take a look at some of the reasons why those decisions were made. This is a huge change in the intensity. Now, the intensity guide, as I click on it again, the intensity guide, I'll make this a little bit bigger. This is the official track that you see. You know that black line that a lot of people tell you not to look at, but everybody does, all right? This is the official track, and it says, well, yes, it'll be a hurricane Thursday, and then it'll go back down to being a tropical storm. But if you were watching the previous video, none of this, everything was down here in tropical storm status, where a majority of the models still are. You see how they're split in half. Category 1, half of them are up here on Thursday. Category or tropical storm, half of them are still down to the south. But the official track has it brushing up just enough at about 75, 76 miles an hour projection that would qualify as a Category 1. The reason I pushed it to Friday is because I'm not the only one pushing it to Friday. So even though Gonzalo's official guidance is showing that it will be a Category 1 at least just for a day and then decline, I expect that this trend, note, this is a stronger trend that might sustain itself longer. The trend is that this will continue to go away. So where's it going? All right, Gonzalo's still a hurricane after Friday. We're pretty confident that Gonzalo's right here, and you can see how tight all the model runs are through Thursday. Then through Friday, we get into the 48-hour range, and this is where I stop when it comes to confidence. Then you get really loose with the 72s, but not too loose. I mean, they're not crazy, and they're not spinning off in the Atlantic. They're not hitting landfall. They're making like a direct beeline south of the British Virgin Islands and south of Puerto Rico and south of Dominican Republic. That doesn't mean hurricanes are huge, by the way. I mean, you're talking nautical miles. They can be up to 400 miles wide. They can be. I'm not saying that this one will be, but they will affect Puerto Rico with rain and the Dominican Republic as we start next week. But the question remained, where is it on Saturday? And on Saturday, I just go a little bit further and say, well, the 72 model projection is here. And if it hits land, it could go back down to tropical storm status. If it stays over water, I believe it could stay a hurricane. It might even strengthen to a category 2 or even more. So that's that, and I'll leave you finally with this last one. If it's still a hurricane, there's very low confidence in this path. This morning, this path was way up here, close, brushing the shoreline, going over the Keys and into Florida, and then it zigzagged over here. And then now, 12 hours later, we have one that's dead end, it's heading directly towards Texas. You can never trust a model past 48 hours. Really, that's what happens. There's too much land, there's too much water, there's too many influences, there's too much shear. So just stay within that 48-hour path and check back right here at ericwilsonweathersource.com. And we'll keep you updated and to show you what that site looks like. I think I have a site. There it is. And we follow everything that's out there. The tropical wave that's making it wet is far, even as it's in the center of the Gulf of Mexico, it's making it wet all over the Gulf states. You can track the storm yourself. I've set that up so that you can move it along if you're into that kind of thing. And then all the way down, there's the one causing the problems now in Florida. And then here's Gonzalo and its latest. So if you're watching this and it's a day later, come back here and you can see the same model projections, everything that I just explained in detail, all right here at ericwilsonweathersource.com. Have a great day.